Hey guys, so in my last video I talked about all the different kind of equipment for navigation, so map and compass, GPS watch, dedicated GPS unit, or just using your phone. After I made that video, I decided to go and have a look and see if there was any videos on the app that I used, since I thought it was a pretty good app and I wanted to make sure it was getting a little bit of publicity out there, or there was some material on it regardless, and really there wasn't. So I decided to make this video, just give you guys a bit of a rundown on the app, how it works. Now I'm not paid, I'm not sponsored in any way by these guys, I paid full price for it. I just wanted to share it with you because I really think if you're a hiker, camper, this app is awesome. Used it for quite a while, and just want to share some info with you guys about it. So here it is. Now this is going to be a pretty long video, so feel free to skip ahead where you want. But we'll start off pretty simply by launching the app. You can see I've got the Pocket Earth Pro version here, and I'll explain the difference between the Pro version and the free version a little bit later on. So let's go ahead and launch that, and you can see straight away it opens up into the map screen. It's a very clean design, nice, simple, lots of detail when you zoom in, and just very easy to navigate, and you can see how fast it is to scroll around. As I move around, you can see that the maps are downloading for that particular area. I'll talk a little bit more about that specific feature later on, but the maps do have the capability to be used completely offline, and the GPS does work when you are in airplane mode. So starting off with a bit of information about this app. At this stage, it is only available on iOS. Currently running it on the iPhone 7 Plus, but you can get it on all iOS devices, including your iPad, etc. They do have a plan to make it available for Android. That is, according to the website, not too long in the future, but they don't have a specific ETA. Now, the other thing is the reliability of the app. For me, it has been absolutely flawless. I haven't had really any issues with it freezing, any issues with it crashing or glitching out, or saving things and then them not being there later on. There's been no real issues like that, so performance wise I'm pretty happy with this app. So next up, a little bit about what you see here on the screen. So obviously the map takes up the biggest portion of the screen. Down the bottom left hand side you've got your scale, which you can see changes as you zoom in, so you can always have an idea, and you've also obviously got your coordinates there as well in degrees. Down the bottom right hand side you've got your GPS icon, so you can switch on to GPS and this will tell you where you are. You can easily then switch it off and that'll make you disappear off the map. Down the bottom left hand side here you have the menu tabs. So I'm gonna go over basically all these menus, all these options from the top down to the bottom. Starting off with the search everything feature, it's pretty much exactly how it's described. So you've got your different maps here, you've got your favorites, your recent, so for quick access, or again you can just do a general search. So we might type in camping, okay, and from here it'll come up with anything with the word camping in it, so that's pretty handy, pretty easy to use. Next up below it you can see I've got it set up for hiking. You can actually choose different setups, and when you're navigating that'll just give you different routing options and set up the map to look a little bit differently based on which kind of setting you have it on. So obviously I have it for hiking since I use it mostly for hiking. And if you do tap on it you can customize it, so what you do want to see in the map, and heaps of more detailed information which you can kind of go through, and you can go through each one of these and customize them however you want. Again, I find hiking works perfectly well and I haven't changed any of these options. It hasn't been a problem. Next up, going on to pin. The pin basically creates, like it says, a pin of exactly where you are. So if you're on a trail or something, you can just tap that and that'll drop a pin of exactly where you are. Next up, the route feature. Now I'm going to quickly show you how this works. It's pretty handy, but it does come with a major drawback, which I hope they're going to fix quite shortly. So you've got here add starting location, so let's go select a place on the map. Let's go from this campsite over to this intersection here. Actually, we have to go to plus, then over to this. Actually, let's go over here next, and you can see basically give it a little while and it creates the line there. Next up, let's say I parked my car here at this trailhead. I can drop a pin, so it doesn't have to be a set feature, and it should in a second create, once I add plus, the route to that location. Let's say though I want to go by this trail marker, that little intersection. It's a bit more interesting than following the road. I can just pick it up, drag and drop it, and that'll recreate that. So let's go to done. So once I've hit done, it gives you your basic information. So your distance, your average speed, and then it'll work out a time based on that. We're going walking. You can add a whole bunch of information in here as well. Notes, it gives you again more info of all the waypoints, the direction, etc. So a whole bunch of information here. You can hit nav from that point on, view to view it again, or delete. So let's just go ahead and delete that. So the biggest issue with the route feature is that it only works with a internet connection. So if I was to go here and go into airplane mode, turn off my Wi-Fi, and then try and make a route. So same thing, let's just go from here, add point, to here, add point. You're going to come up with this warning, unable to connect to server. That's pretty unfortunate, because usually when you're in the middle of nowhere, you're not going to have any internet connection. So that's a little bit frustrating. I don't know if they're able to fix that in the future. Hopefully they can, but yeah, that's quite annoying. Track option here, basically, like it says, it'll just track your movement. So you can go in there, switch that on, and it'll start to track basically your hike. So you'll get a whole bunch of information, how long it took you, your average speed, etc, etc. Managing maps is pretty much exactly how it sounds. So this is where you can go into and download maps, delete certain maps. You know, if you're flying to another country, and let's say you want to go to Europe and you want to download a certain country, so that way when you get to that country, you don't need an internet connection to start kind of navigating around there. So you can do all that there. Travel guide, again, pretty much what it sounds like. It'll load some add-on information here. I don't use any of that. I don't use this app really for traveling. To be honest, I use Google. This is pretty much my hiking map only, or my hiking app, not really my general travel app. I still find Google to be better for that. Favorites, again, pretty much how it sounds like. All this kind of information. You can see it organizes it by distance there, so nice and simple. Group filters, so if you have your information grouped a certain way, so you might have camping spots, and then you pretty much you can just have that group and go in there and add info, take away info, whatever it is you want to do. Nearby, again, just a whole bunch of information. This is all mostly focused for traveling rather than hiking and camping, but I thought I'd show you guys. Contacts, you can share stuff with your contacts. Recent, what you've recently been doing in the app. Add-ons, so pretty much here what we've gone to, and you can change a whole bunch of different info here. So set your units, text size, etc. Sharing current location, creating a screenshot, exporting, importing information. You've got a help menu, legend, contact, and about down the bottom as well. So nothing too exciting down there. And that's pretty much a rundown on the map. What I did want to show you guys is just the flexibility of this app to create waypoints and create kind of not just waypoints, but markers of, you know, special areas. What I showed you in the previous video is I used this waypoint here. So I was doing this hike along Mount Solitary that you can see here, and there was this amazing view, and you can pretty much click on there. And from here I added this waypoint, and I also added a photo in there. So this is the view from the waypoint. So you know, I can share that with anyone, or, you know, just kind of keep it as a reminder. I can add additional notes in there. It's got all my information, so elevation and exact position in there as well. But what you can do as well is you know, pre-assigned waypoints. So you've got this camping one here. You can, you know, favorite that so that it stands out. But then you can go in there and you can add notes. You can also change the name, I believe. Here you go, rename. So, you know, whatever detail it has in the app, you can actually update that detail and customize it and kind of add more info as you're going along. I have found that this app has a whole bunch of info, and it is accurate. Say, for example, here you can see these toilets are listed, and that is accurate. There are actual toilets there, and there is actually a shelter there. So, you know, my the official kind of maps that I buy don't have that much information, so that's absolutely awesome. And, you know, if any of that changes, or, you know, the toilets become, you know, out of order or something, I can add that in there and, you know, share it, or, you know, just keep it for my own personal knowledge. So the flexibility to be able to do that is really, really awesome. I'm really impressed. Now, I told you guys I would tell you what the difference is between the Pro version and the free version. And, well, the easiest way to do that is simply just to head on over to their website that you can see here, and just go over into the FAQs. So let's go over there, and while that's loading, props to these guys. They have created a great website and a great little community. So if I haven't answered any questions, odds are it's going to be here, but pretty much here's the answer. So there's no difference in features and functionality between the two products, just different pricing models. Pocket Earth is free but requires in-app purchases to access maps offline, whereas our Pro app includes access to worldwide standard maps offline and only offers a single in-app purchase for extra topographic maps. So that's an important one. I had to do that. It is a little bit frustrating, but that's the big difference. So if you want to save money and only need access to a single country, you can get the free app and pay in-app for only one country, so the country that you need. Otherwise, obviously, if you're going to go to multiple countries, you know, do a big worldwide trip, it's just cheaper to buy the Pro version. Nice and simple. So I have did go on a few international trips, so I thought it would be wiser to use to buy the Pro version, even though I still had to buy the topographic maps afterwards. Although that's not that expensive, it's only a couple of bucks compared to the tens, if not hundreds of dollars that you're going to pay for software like Garmin mapping, etc. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If I missed anything that you guys want to know about, leave it down below. Like I said, their website is pretty good and well worth checking out. Lots of information there. But as always, thank you for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next video, and happy trails.